We're back with another installment of our series, Conflict of Interest Watch. We are tracking how Donald Trump's business dealings could create messy, unethical, even illegal situations after his inauguration. One of the most glaring problems may be just down the street from the White House, at the Trump Hotel. Could folks trying to ingratiate themselves with the new president find themselves becoming regular customers? Well, in the last 24 hours, events at the hotel might be seen as an attempt to make nice with the incoming commander-in-chief. CNN's Elise Labott joins me now from the Trump Hotel here in D.C. And Elise, some diplomats already admitting that their relationship with Trump, they think, could benefit from their throwing business to the hotel.
Well, Jake, one ambassador told me that they expected a lot of their counterparts would be holding events at this hotel because it's not only a very nice hotel, but it's a great way to make brownie points with Donald Trump. What a better way for your foreign leader to visit, and when the White House asks where they're staying, to say the president's hotel. But while the hotel is drawing in customers and lining Donald Trump's pockets with money, it's also causing a lot of controversy.
Donald Trump's new five-star hotel in the historic old post office just steps from the White House is the place to be for Washington insiders looking to make inroads with the president-elect.
I think the hotel is beautiful.
Today, diplomats and U.S. officials descended on the hotel for Bahrain's National Day celebration. And Tuesday night, the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank with ties to the transition, invited their donors to the hotel to hear from Vice President-elect Mike Pence. Sales were soft when the property opened in September, despite promotion by the candidate himself.
This is the most coveted piece of real estate in Washington, D.C., the best location.
But that all changed after election night. Just days later, diplomats packed a ballroom to hear a sales pitch. A special promotion through the Arab Chamber of Commerce boasts, quote, a new level of luxury in D.C. with unparalleled service. The aggressive marketing is paying off. The hotel is almost fully booked for holiday parties and sold out for inaugural weekend. Trump even pointing to its prime location on his visit to Capitol Hill. But it's not without controversy. Next week, the Embassy of Azerbaijan is holding a joint Hanukkah party with a collection of American Jewish groups. The organizers cited the hotel's kosher food, location, and availability, telling CNN, quote, it was done purely on a pragmatic basis that had nothing to do with Trump himself. But others are objecting.
They say that the party is a celebration of religious freedom and diversity. And when you compare that to the messages that have come from the Trump campaign for the last years, that is exactly opposite of what we've been hearing.
Some diplomats admit spending money at Trump's hotel is an easy, friendly gesture to the new president. Others commend the hotel's impeccable service and discounted promotional rates. But critics worry foreign governments and special interest groups will patronize the hotel to curry favor with the president-elect. A clause in the U.S. Constitution warns, quote, no person holding any office can profit from any foreign government.
The President of the United States is not an innkeeper, and certainly not for foreign diplomats. And in order to be an effective president, he is going to have to make this change over to being president.
Now, we're expected to hear in the next few weeks how Donald Trump is going to transfer his business over to his family, including this hotel, before taking office. Now, he also may be in violation of the hotel's lease that says that no member of the government who holds office can hold any part of this lease. But Jake, the controversy does not end at this hotel in Washington. LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers says he and several of his teammates will not be staying at the scheduled stop of Trump's hotel in Soho when they play the New York Knicks this week in Manhattan. Jake.
All right, Elise Labott, thank you so much.